Today's Monday, November 1st, 2021. My name is Carlton Cartwright. I'm the Executive Director for Veterans Memorial and Multicultural Histories Incorporated. And we are at Riviera Beach Preparatory Achievement Academy in Riviera Beach, Florida. And who do we have on cameras? We have Mark on the 5D Mark IV. We've got Mary Beth on the 1DX Mark II, and we have Cameron on the 5D Mark II. And sir, what is your name?
Dwayne, Overstreet.
And Mr. Overstreet, how old are you? When's your birthday? When's your birthday?
It's December 23rd, 1968.
Okay, and what city do you live in?
I live in Orlando, Florida.
Okay, okay. What branch of the military were you in?
United States Navy.
All right, good. How long did you serve?
20 years.
What year to what year?
Okay, from July 27, 1987 to July 31st, 2007.
And what rank were you when you separated?
E6.
E6. What do they call that in the Navy?
Petty Officer First Class.
Petty Officer First Class.
Yeah.
Were you drafted or did you enlist?
I enlisted. Yeah, I enlisted.
Where were you living at the time that you went in service?
West Palm Beach, Florida.
Oh, okay. All right.
Born and raised.
Okay, and what were you doing at that time?
I just graduated high school at that time and wanted to go to college.
Right.
However, I was living with my grandparents. They had the financial means to go to college, so I didn't want to put them through that stress trying to get a loan. So I talked to one of my friends that was joining the Army, and I thought military would probably be a good way to go, so to pay for school.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a plan. They tried to get me to join the Army, but I didn't do it. Took a few of those meetings, I know.
So what was the defining issue to go into the Navy versus the Army?
Awesome. So at church, my granddad pastored, he retired now, he pastored church, Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church, and it was this deacon that always came to all the functions, and he had a nice car, and they say he retired from the Navy, and I said, I want to be just like him. I want to be just like him.
Okay.
He retired, I want to, look like he didn't have any stress. It seemed like his real life a whole lot easier than some people I knew who came out of the Army. So,
okay.
So that was the defining moment when I talked to him. My granddad told me, I could talk to him. I talked to him. He was telling me about his experience of traveling the world and seeing different things and, just having fun. I was like, that's what I want to do.
Okay, so tell us about, where did you go to basic training?
So I went to basic training in San Diego, California.
So they flew you over there?
Yeah, so you think about it, like I'm telling Cameron there, you hear you go to Tallahassee to see those hills. Well, think about going from West Palm Beach, never left the state, the city. Right. And then you go to California and you see these mountains and culture shock because, it's different culture, different ethnic groups. Now you're in the military, there's Hispanic, there's Asian, there's everybody. And you can't, how boot camp go, you get off that bus and the guy wakes you up and you look up and this guy speaking to you in almost another language, you're like, wait a minute, where am I? I thought it was San Diego, but it's boot camp, so it's outside the walls. But after boot camp, you got a chance to get out in town and see, visit the city a little bit, see the Balboa Zoo, and it was great. And San Diego was nice place to be and visit. Nice weather, no humidity. Right. From that point, I was. What time of year was that? That was like summer, July. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it came out a whole nother color.
Okay. How long was basic training?
So basic training was 8 weeks.
8 weeks? How was it? Well, tell us about it.
So, another thing that encouraged me to go to the Navy is because it's more educational than physical. Right. So, in order to get through basic training, you do some physical, calisthenics, you run, you do push-ups, sit-ups, but mostly it's mental because you got to pass tests.
Yeah, so that what?
You got to pass tests.
Okay, exams. A lot of exams.
You have to go to school, Your day consists of working out in the morning, getting your breakfast, then you spend the rest of the day in class. So, think about waking up like 4 or 5 in the morning, you're gonna have breakfast, you're working out, then you gotta stay awake and go to class and stay awake and then try to learn, what's going on in class and then end up taking an exam at the end. That's a challenge in itself. But, I managed to get through it, because the goal was you gotta see beyond, that daily routine. You gotta see your goal and see, okay, this is where my finish line gonna be. So you gotta make sure that you keep that goal in mind and get you through. So
Right.
I just kept thinking about, graduation day. That's all I kept thinking about. My focus was just get there,
How was the food?
Yeah, I tell you, I never drank so much water in my life.
You're not saying a lot about the food.
I know, the food was okay. I guess I ate everything on the plate, I'll tell you that, because you only eat 3 times, that's it.
Yeah.
You get no snacks or none of that stuff. So, you eat your 3 meals.
Get in shape.
You better go ahead and get those meals in, because you better not be eating nothing after dark. They're walking around trying to check, Some people try to sneak some stuff.
Right.
But, it didn't end well. For none of us, because the team.
Yeah, everybody pays
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody gonna suffer.
Yeah, it was fun though. You look back on it, though, it was fun though.
Right.
Like I said, getting in shape and learning at the same time, it's not like it. And then that camaraderie, getting with the guys. And it's long life friends afterwards, So.
Okay, right, exactly. So after that 8 weeks, did you go home for a break, or did you go to your next, you go to tech school?
Actually, I came home for about, about a month, I say. About a month, then I went to Cecilfield, Florida, right? And I'm like, Cecilfield, where is this?
Cecil Field?
Right.
Where the heck is that?
That's what I said. I said, Cecilfield, Florida, where is this? So, I could fly up to Jacksonville.
Right.
So I said, okay, I'm in Jacksonville. So I said Cecilfield, then I go out west. So my grandma had a cousin that retired military, retired Navy.
Right.
So he picked me up from the airport, and he lived in Jacksonville, so he takes me out to Cecil, so I'm riding. We go out west and like going away from civilization, it's like no, with trees and woods, and I'm like, okay, now, this is not what I joined for, so I'm going out farther west. Well, my duty station was VFA 87, was the Strike Fighter Squadron, F-18 Squadron.
Okay.
So they're in the airfield, and they had Cecil Field.
Okay.
So, okay, that's what Cecil Field is. I'm like, okay. So I called my grandma, like, hey, I don't need a car, because this is too far away.
Right.
Too far. But Jacksonville, I had never been to Jacksonville, so that was another experience in itself. But I didn't know that, the Strike Fighter Squadron was attached to a ship. And the ship was out of Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia. So whenever they deploy 30 days or more, you fly out to the ship and then deploy with the ship if it's 30 days or more. So it was fun. That was interesting. I've never been to Virginia, so there you go.
Okay, so wait a minute. We were in Jacksonville. That was your tech school?
Well, tech school, it was in San Diego. So I went from, boot camp to San Diego.
So you did that all at the same time?
Right, yeah. So
and then you went home for 30 days.
Then
So what was your MOS?
So I started out, this is where the guy got me, right? Because I wanted to travel. I was like, I look good at the brochure. Show me you're going to travel, you're going to see the world.
Right.
Yeah, and what happened when I joined, the recruiter showed me the brochure. It says, your Navy, you're going to travel the world. This is what you're going to do. I was like, yeah, cool. And boot camp San Diego. I was like, I've never been in California. It's great. He said, but we got this job, because you want to get an A school. Because one of the guys told me, the master, he told me the guy retired. He said, you want to make sure you get a school. No matter what, get a school. All right, get a school. The guy told me, you're going to be a culinary specialist. You're going to be a cook. I'm like, all right, cook school anywhere. I'm like, I don't care. I just want to get paid for school. All right, go.
That sounds like a setup.
Right. So I go to school. I go to San Diego, go to boot camp. Then I go over to the culinary specialist school, right? So that was another 8 weeks. So I spent, almost a year, 9 months. So in San Diego, 6-9 months. So I go to culinary school. I already know I ain't like this. All right, but that's cool. That's cool. My goal is going to pay for school. I don't care. I'm going to travel, see the world.
Right.
So I go home for my 30 days. And then I go to Jacksonville and squadron, there's just like a fighter squadron is like 100 people max. It's a close-knit, community.
Right.
And there's like 3 cooks in the squadron. So, and you got ranks, So I get down right at boot camp. You got 2 guys that one's a E4, which is cut off the 3rd class, and I got an E5. No. There's 2 guys, E4. Nobody E5, E6.
Okay.
So I'm the lowest one, E1, straight out of boot camp, fresh. So the most experienced guy got to go out to see if the 30 days or was. Like, they're like, yeah, I'm glad you're here, man, because, we tired going out of the ship. It's your turn. I'm like, oh, okay. So, yeah, until you made a rank, you got to keep going. My bags stay packed. I'm always flying Virginia, catching ship going out to sea. Catch the ship going out to sea.
Right.
Which is cool because we go like, my first trip, we went to Puerto Rico. We stayed 2 weeks. I worked 2 days. I'm like, oh, okay, this ain't bad. Yeah. I spent most time just out of town. And then the second time we go to Trinidad. And I'm like, well, these guys missing out, right? Meanwhile,
Right.
I meet this chief, E7 in the squadron. He's a Navy counselor.
Right.
He takes me on his wing like, hey, start doing these courses so you can make a rank. You're gonna get tests, you'll make a rank. So I'm out there doing what they say do. I do my courses, I pass my courses. I take the exam, I pass the exam, I make rank. So I'm E4 with these guys now. I'm
Okay.
these because I'm the last one to make it. So all right, cool. All right. Next thing you know, I take the next exam, I make E5. Now I'm over them guys. Oh, it's payback now. So now, when Master said, all right, who's going out now? I said, well, let me see. And these guys been there maybe 10 years. They haven't made rank.
Wow.
So here's a guy, I've just been there maybe 4 years, all of a sudden I'm up here, right? So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I'm not going. I said, well, you guys decide where you want to go, right? So after I left the squadron, which was, I think, in 91, so I went to 87, 91. So before that, they had Desert Storm. So anytime you do 6 months deployment, everybody goes. The whole squadron packs up, everybody goes to Virginia, everybody gets on the ship.
Right.
Everybody goes. So the Roosevelt was a brand new ship, so they just commissioned it. The first cruise we went on, we saw a 6-month cruise. We hit about 12 ports all over Europe, Spain, Italy, France, Turkey, Egypt, Israel.
Wow.
I mean, you name it, we went all over Europe. I mean, it was great, awesome. See the pyramids. I tell people now, you see the pyramids, don't let the movies fool you. They'll rob you blind out there, But it's nice. I mean, it's good to see the stuff in real life. The Rock just rolled to you see the commercial insurance, but it is sitting out there in the middle of the ocean.
Right.
You see all this stuff, so it's great. So that's the first cruise, like, man, this is awesome. So next thing you know, we got Desert Storm come up, the Gulf War. Okay, now we all got packed up, we gotta go to the ship. I mean, I didn't join the Navy for this, right? Just tells you I didn't join for that. So
Okay.
I didn't join for that. But we go out to sea. All right, cool. I'm on the carrier. And my duties, they have staterooms. I have because you gotta remember I made rank, so we got about 6, 7, we call them Siemens, E3s, E1, E2s. They're under me. So I'm like, okay, I just watch them, they clean the rooms on the ship and stuff. I just monitor them, just make sure they do what they're supposed to do. Well, we have drills. Like general quarters, we have drills, practice, in case of wartime.
Right.
Well, these drills are real now because now we are going to the Gulf and we're amongst, those burning oil fields out there. You see the oil platforms burning in the ocean. And we out there and then we down south. So everything's happening up north. It's like cool.
Where you down south by what?
Well, we're in the Gulf, south in the Gulf. Like we're in south in the Gulf.
The Gulf of what ocean?
The Gulf,
Hello.
hold on. Not the Indian Ocean, but we're through Suez, we're in the Gulf.
Oman?
There you go.
Oman. Is it?
Oman.
O-M-A-N.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There you go.
All right.
So we're out there. We go through the Suez Canal, which a carrier can barely fit through there. Like you pretty much touch the people on the outside.
Really?
They never seen anything big.
That tight, huh? Yeah, okay, you had a big ship?
So we go through that, yes.
What kind of ship were you on?
Aircraft carrier, 6,800 people. So
How many?
City, 6,800. So that's with full crew and planes, about 300 planes on there. 600.
What kind of planes?
F-18s, you got radar planes. I mean, you got a whole gamut on there because, you know, we actually go to war. So we get out there. My squadron, F-18 squadron, fighter squadron, so they fly F-18.
Right.
So how you know it's real is they do 24-hour flight ops. They never stop flying.
Really?
So that means you never stop working.
Right.
As long as they fly, you're working.
Right.
So we down south in the Gulf. The ships that go up north, they're in the theater. So, you know, you have fun, everybody, you know, likes to.
What is the theater? That's the battlefield?
That's the battlefield.
Okay.
That's the area.
Conflict, yeah.
You go out
Area
in
of
a battle
conflict.
group, you get in a battle group, you got the carrier, you got your battleships, you got your submarines, everybody's out there.
Right.
So they never alone, so, and the carrier's like in the middle. So then we move up, ship up north, and then you feel the tension, because everybody's ship like, uh-oh, you know, get quiet on the ship. We move up north.
Right.
And you can tell that, you know, we flying, you know, 24 hours a day, they flying out, flight out, flight out, flight out. Pilots are coming back, you know, you can tell like they exhausted, just flying. And we just, you know, we working, we watching CNN just like everybody else.
Right.
That was so funny. So then, you know, your parents, my mom, my grandma, at the time, you write letters, you didn't call. They write letters like, you know, we saw CNN, you guys okay? I'm like, right back, yeah, I saw it too. I see saying you saw it. I saw the same thing you saw, but
They want to know if you're sitting in the middle.
right. So, but
You're not telling them
yeah,
that.
you can't tell. You know, you can't tell your position, you can't tell where you're at, you don't tell where you've been, you can't tell where you are.
Right.
You can't tell where you're going either. So.
Top secret.
Yeah, you can't tell that stuff. So it was kind of, I know it frustrating to them, but I couldn't say nothing.
Right.
It was cool, you know, we did that, and then after Desert Storm, I was able to come back maybe a month early.
Uh-huh.
Because they had you call it a early deck crew.
Uh-huh.
Go back early, get things set up so when everybody return, you know, you can help them as far as getting their rooms together, getting everybody situated, come back with their families and stuff. But mind, before I left that storm, my daughter was born in October. We left in December. I got back in July. She was almost about ready to walk.
So how many years had you been in the service by now?
4 years.
Okay, now I need to ask you about when you were in that combat situation.
Yeah.
Were there any casualties from your unit?
No, everybody was safe.
Everybody was
I'll
good?
tell you, everybody's perspective of Navy is different. Like, oh man, you've been on the ship 6 months, do this, but hey, I went to school while I was out there. They bring on professors on board the ship.
Uh-huh.
You know, I took courses while I was out there. You know, just trying to work on my college education.
Right.
So, I mean, I kept busy. You work out, you go to school, you can go, you know, they got a little library on there. They got different places to eat. Well, you know, it's not like that, you know, but you got different places to go eat. And then, I mean, got basketball court. I mean, you go play ball, you do whatever. But
Okay.
you stay busy. Just got to keep yourself busy, man.
And you got to do a lot of traveling to the countries.
Oh, the travel is one thing that really made me in awe of everything. Just like just going to Israel, going to Jerusalem, you know, seeing the Wailing Wall, you know, took that tour. Egypt, the Nile River, King Tut Museum, seeing the actual King Tut Museum, going out to the Sphinx, seeing the Sphinx, going out to the pyramids, and then in Spain, France, going to Jacques Cousteau Museum, Italy, you know.
Where'd you go in Italy?
Italy, we went to, where everybody goes in Italy.
Rome?
No.
Venice?
We went to,
Aviano? Brindisi?
I know you careful, I know. I stay there, you know what I'm saying?
Naples? Napoli?
Naples, there you go. Everybody
Did you get to Athens and Crete?
I didn't go.
No. Okay.
I didn't want to do too much in Italy. Cause I thought it was like too trashy, you know? I was like, oh. But I'm quite sure it's better on the outside because it's where you were.
Right, it's all according to where you are.
All depending on where you are.
Yeah.
But from where I was like, I won't go out there.
Okay.
So I stay more around the base area.
Yeah.
But in Spain was nice. Palma, Spain was nice.
Where?
Palma.
Palma?
Palma was nice. Toulon, Monaco, and Marseille, France.
France.
Those are awesome. Turkey, Italian Turkey, awesome.
You said Italian turkey?
Italia?
Yeah, okay.
Italia Turkey.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful place. Great food. France was good food in France. Turkey.
Who was trying to rob you? You said, made a comment.
Oh man, at the pyramid. So they had these camels out there.
Yeah.
You go camel ride and stuff.
Yeah.
But they got the kids out there that are like hustling. They're out there hustling. They trying to get you. Like everybody brother, hey, you're my brother, you know, and they trying to get you. They'll say hashish, which is like drugs and stuff. And then you get on the camera and they're like, yeah, take my picture, and you give your camera, they take off. They run with your stuff. You know? They take off with your stuff. They'll take that picture and run with your stuff. But, you have to be careful of that stuff.
I had one little incident in Greece real quick
Yeah.
with the cab driver. Where I was going was right up the street. And he showed me all that. Showed me all.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, you gotta
I
watch
get
out.
trouble with groups. You gotta trouble with a whole bunch of people.
On 2 blocks, and he took me 52
All
blocks.
around. He like, wait a minute. Like,
Okay, so after the end of that 4 years,
Yeah. I did it 4 years. Ended up coming to the Naval Training Center in Orlando. That's where all the women trained at the time.
okay,
So I ended up being staff there, and I worked in records and returns, kind of like accounting. So I ended up keeping the books, as far as supplies, as far as the food and everything else, and we kept, record of that. I did that for 3 years.
okay.
3 years.
What rank were you by now?
So by now, I'm E5, I'm getting ready to get E6.
Okay.
By then, so.
And did you finish your degree by then?
By now, I'm still working on it, because between duty and all that,
Okay. You busy?
You busy. I'm still trying to do it, I'm working on it.
So where you at? You're in Orlando?
In Orlando, I start back up, I work, my 8, 9 hours.
How long were you there?
That's 3 years.
Okay.
So I play basketball too. So on the base, I had a base team. So I made the base team, and then the master I worked for, he played racquetball for the Navy too. So most of the time I spent playing ball, I travel a lot. So we went to Jacksonville, played against some Army teams, went to Cocoa. We play ball, and then when I wasn't playing ball, I try to go to school. So if I work 8, 9 hours a day, I still would get off work, go eat, and go to school for another 4 hours at night. Still working on my degree, because that's my goal.
Right. What were you majoring in?
So I want psychology.
Okay.
So I said, I'm going to get there, just keep taking courses as much as I can. It's free, but I just take it. And then you have to be dedicated, and your mind got to be set, your goal got to be, you got to be able to achieve your goals, so you got to maintain that discipline and get that stuff done. So I said, I'm gonna just keep going to school. It was tough, work long days. Remember I got a kid too.
Right.
And then when in Orlando, we get my wife pregnant again, so we got another kid on the way. So I got 2 kids. We'll be fine. Not a whole bunch of money then.
Right.
But, we're making things, we're making it work. And then after my 3 years in Orlando, I ended up going to Guantanamo, Cuba. Guantanamo Bay, what I wanted to do was, my wife wanted to experience going overseas, right?
Right.
I said, okay. So let me pick some orders to go to Guantanamo Bay, go to Cuba, not far from Florida, but at least you get experience going like Cuba, which I didn't know much about. So I get the orders, we pack up everything. I go over 2 weeks before, get settled, get a house over there, and then the Cuban crisis break out where everybody got a mass exodus from Cuba. They come over Guantanamo Bay, they swim and cross the bay to get over to Guantanamo Bay.
Right.
They tell me, well, I know your wife got 2 weeks before she come. Well, no family can come. I need to call back and say she ain't coming. Okay. Now I packed my whole house up, everything. So I got to call her and tell her, like, hey, I know I packed everything up, but now you're going to have to find another place to stay. And you can't come to Cuba. I got to stay here by myself.
Right.
My company. It wasn't 2 year tour. They made I'm coming for a year. So I got the whole year over here by myself.
Wow.
All right, cool. So I got to make the best of it. So what they did, they put her in a condo here. They paid for everything. And I had the car shipped back home, so she got a car, took care of her. And I ended up being on this thing called Auxiliary Security Force.
What is it? Auxiliary?
Auxiliary Security Force.
Okay.
So what it is, you train the Marines for like 2 weeks, right? Because they pretty much run the base.
Right.
And they guard the line between us and Cuba, between us and Castro. There's a minefield between that. So what you do, you train in case a riot break out because of people that's from across. You know, you gotta guard them and stay on watch and make sure they don't get riled up and start protesting, you know, what's going on in Cuba.
Right.
And we do this training for 2 weeks. I'm like, yeah, this how you doing a lot of self-defense, and they show you how in the past, they show a film how in the past with outbreaks and fights came out, they had to go in and settle the fights and stuff. People had sticks and all kinds of stuff. Like, okay, I'm doing for this. Yeah, I'm in the back, so it happens. So after we train running the hills in Cuba, we do all kind of training, man. It's like 2 weeks straight, hard training. So they said one weekend they call us up to do a training and say we're gonna sleep outside for the weekend. So we go to this bush area, this secluded area out in Cuba, out in the woods, and they set it up like, I guess, the Marines to go out in the field.
Right.
So they set it up so we're out in the field, and if you leave the campsite, you gotta have this code word, get back in. Even though they know who you are, you still gotta say the word, otherwise you're not getting in. And no lights allowed, no flashy stuff, because you don't want to be seen by the enemy or whatever. So, all right, cool. So we practice that. Well, I ain't used to that because that's not what I joined for. So, I don't know if you guys know this.
You keep saying that.
I know these Indiglo watches, they light up. So I had to watch them. So I go over there and I say, man, I can't even see my hand. So I hit the light and I watch. Oh my God, what'd I do that for? All hell broke loose. Like, what the hell got this light? Who's that that last time? I'm sorry, it's me, I'm sorry. But what happened, the next day we wake up, a riot break out.
Wow.
I said, oh my God. So they're all protesting, they're up on the hill in Cuba. So we go all down there in the riot gear. And they're like, okay, so you're gonna be, if you're in the front echelon, which is the line, you be the snatch. And then in the back of the line, you got the twisted tie, you're gonna be grabbed, you're gonna tie them up. Right. So I'm like, okay, I hope nobody come down my line on this side of the line. But it was okay because everybody stayed up on the hill. They just did a little protest and went back to the little camp. So I cool. So I spent a whole year over there. So I met this aviation guy in the Coast Guard that ran the MAC flights that go between Cuba and Okalaka. And every month they had flights that go back and forth. So I would catch those flights, but every other month I would catch a flight, go home, see my family, come back. So it wasn't too bad. I was able to see them at least every 2 months or so and spend some time with them. So it was pretty cool, with that. And over there, they contracted a lot of Jamaicans and Cubans, and they cook, they clean, they do stuff like that, maintain the base. They do a lot of maintenance and stuff. So it was pretty cool to see the other side of, people cultures, the food they eat, and the Jamaicans, man. They had a restaurant over there, it was so good.
Really?
Oh my God.
Okay, so you were there for how long in Guantanamo Bay?
So I stayed there 1 year.
1 year.
1 year. So I said, okay, I'm gonna try this overseas thing again.
Right.
So I talked to the detail, which is the guy that give you orders. I called him up, said, hey, I'm up for orders. I want to, go overseas again. He said, well, we got Guam. I said, okay, I ain't never heard of Guam before.
Guam? Philippines?
I said, I'll do Guam.
Okay.
No problem. So it's a 2.5 year tour. So I get my family, we all pack up. So we go to Guam, so we fly from West Palm Beach to LA to Hawaii. We stayed 3 days.
Right.
Which that's cool. I had never been in Hawaii, so we stayed 3 days there. Got a chance to go around Hawaii a little bit. It's crazy how they got an interstate, but it's an island. And then we flew over to Guam, which was another 8-hour flight. So it total was like about 17, 18 hours.
Right.
So we get to Guam, and Guam was, we call it Little Hawaii, that's what we call it, because it's just, island. If you swim, water sports, or play golf, it's a place to be. I play golf. I like to swim.
Right.
My wife didn't, but it was cool because, they have good food and good culture. And where I lived there on the base, like I said, Filipinos, I guess that was a little Filipino.
Was that Clark Air Force Base?
Nah,
No.
we're in naval activity on the north end of the island.
Okay.
Because they got the Air Force Base, Anderson Air Force Base on the south end.
Okay. Aniston?
Anderson.
Okay.
Anderson Air Force Base
Okay.
on the south end. So the Navy base is on the north end.
Okay.
And then we have they call it where they keep all the weapons base for the north of the naval activities base where I was.
Was that a naval base where the ordnance was?
Yeah, that's naval base.
Okay.
All right.
You know the name of that? What was the name of that base?
It was called Nick.
What?
I forget the name of that base, but I know that's where we kept all our weapons.
Okay.
We call it weapons base is what we call it.
All right.
All the bunkers and everything was there.
You say you're there for 2.5 years?
Yeah, so 2.5 years I'm there. So remember I did ASF, I did Auxiliary Security Force in Cuba. So I get to Guam, I think I'm gonna just do my regular duties as, like I said, I joined to be a culinary specialist, but you run the barracks and all that other stuff.
Right.
So they sent me to school to Hawaii, back to Pearl Harbor for about another month to learn this new computer system they got to run these barracks. All right, cool. So I go there, I come back. Well, they say, we see in record use ASF. We need volunteers to go ASF here in Guam. I'm like, and you're just gonna augment the security force we got. So, all right, cool. There can't be nothing going on in Guam.
Okay.
What's going on here? Nothing. All right, cool. So I joined them. We trained another because you got trainers like never done it before. So I'm going through all the training again, shooting, firing off weapons and all that stuff, which I had never done before. That's kind of cool, but I rather not do that. So we trained that. I'm thinking nothing gonna happen, nothing. So the Kurdish people, they shipped them all to Guam.
Who?
Kurdish.
The Kurdish people.
Oh wow. They shipped all the Kurds there.
Oh Lord.
So they put them on the south end of the island.
And the Kurds are they Turkey?
Yeah,
Right?
They bring them in,
Uh-huh.
and thousands of them, they bring them in on this base. They set them up camp. So now we gotta go stand watch.
Oh.
For them, 24 hours a day doing watches. So I did a night watch from 12 at night to 12
Noon?
to noon. 12 on, 12 off. So we doing. And all we do is walk around. They're nice people. I mean, I understand why we're doing it, but they were cool. They were nice people. They didn't even cause any ruckus.
You didn't have any problem?
Nah, they were good people.
No casualties?
None. They were good people. We stand and watch. They like soccer. They football for us, but they like soccer. They play soccer around the base.
Right.
Yeah, it was pretty cool just walking around there, just talking to some of them. They were good people. So I did that for about a year. And then in Guam, they have a thing they call load shedding, which we know nothing about.
Load shedding?
Well, load shedding is, they got this, like we got FP&L here.
Yeah.
We are so, spoiled here in the U.S. We got power. Power go out, we just gonna cry, Well, over there, their power system is
Antiquated?
way antiquated. It's so old and antiquated, they need to update it. So they load shed the same power, so it won't break down, so you have to shut the power down. So, first of all, we're still trying to keep up with the time, so, Guam is like 16 hours a day ahead. So, today is Monday, it's already
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday over there right now. So you're flying into another day. So we're cooking, and we didn't know anything about this load shed. The power goes out. Boom! I'm like, what's going on here? And the locals like, yeah, it's in the paper. They schedule load shed. It's a schedule where they turn the power on. And that was out of time, but we're still in the hotel, so they got a base housing. So I'm like, that's why everybody wants to be on the base, because they have generators and they keep the power on 24/7. I'm like, oh, we gotta really go to the base, otherwise my wife's not gonna want to be here. We have to get up out of here. So we had to get on the base, got a nice house over there, and as we were there, they were bringing people from the U.S., engineers, to update their power system there.
Right.
And then once they got updated, it was pretty nice. Food, the culture there is good. They have fiestas, like you can ride around town, and people just be cooking out in front, and you just drive up and just eat. I mean, it was awesome.
You got to pay for it, or they just feed you?
No, they just
Really?
feed. They have food. They have like all your meats and rice, and they have desserts, and you just drive by. And
Just feed you, huh?
Just feed you. I mean, I see no homeless people in Guam.
Really?
That was interesting. You ride around you can ride around the whole island in 2.5 hours. But that whole island, I see no homeless people.
Mm-hmm.
That was neat. That was something to experience, because here, you watch the news, all you see the crime, this and this. But there, I see no homeless people. People always, giving. They're close-knit. They always take care of each other. So that culture was something.
Up to this point, were there any casualties?
None.
Nothing?
None.
So where was your next tour?
So after that, I wanted to do special duty. So I said, I had a friend. He said, yeah, man, I went recruiting and I made 6 just like that. I said, that's what I want to be. So I said, I want to be a recruiter. So I went to recruiting school. And
where was that?
Pensacola, Florida.
Okay.
Pensacola. It was like 5 weeks.
Uh-huh.
And I ended up being stationed in Dallas because my mom lived in Dallas. So it was a chance for her to be with her family.
Right.
And me to actually work and actually try to make it safe. So I'm like, cool.
Okay.
So I go there to Dallas, and we lived in Arlington because the school district wasn't that good in Dallas for my kids. So I said, stay in Arlington, but I commuted over to Dallas. Well, I go get my assignment where I'm B, and they tell me, yeah, we're going to put you in Oak Cliff. Oak Cliff, where is that? Yeah, here's the directions. You go here and meet the guy in charge of the office. He's going to show you around. So I ride in there, straight in the hood. Like, oh, okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this, right? I said, oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, straight to the hood. Straight to it. Straight. Okay. I mean, smack dab in the hood. Like, they got a school called South Oak Cliff, they call it School of Crime. That was this one, right? So the guy take me to the school, he goes, yeah, this is going to be the school you're going to work at. And he sees this guy in the hallway, he just jacked him up, hey, what happened to you? You didn't go to my appointment. I'm like, I got to do this? So, I had to do, I was supposed to be there for 3 years, do special duty. And remember, I had to, because the specialist was my MOS, you call it, or I take my actual rates.
Right.
So I'm in Oak Cliff, and there's kids, I can relate to, because I've been to school.
Please, at this time, will you please log in for your morning announcements? At this time, please log in for your morning announcements.
Yeah, so I'm there, I'm recruiting, and I meet kids, come from the same background I did. I realized, this ain't bad after all, I'll get the help. So I talked to some of the kids and told them how I was able to go to school and how to pay for school travel and see the world at the same time, get education and
Right.
have no debt. Right. So I'm in the office, and the first week I'm there, they had a shooting right in that plaza. So we had to vacate the office that day. Right? I'm like, I called my wife, like, I'm not gonna make it. She's like, what do you mean? I said, they had a shoot today right by the office. Like, cool. But they never mess with the military. That's one thing. They never mess with the military. So
Okay.
you walk around in uniform, whatever, they never mess with us. So after about a year there, ended up being recruited a year. Like I did so well that they promoted me to E6.
Okay.
Right off the back. You're gonna get it. I didn't even know. Went to this big ceremony we had, and it was like, yeah. They called me up and said, yeah, you recruited a year. I'm like, whoa, I had no idea. But coming from that arduous duty, working in that area, it actually excelled and put me at the top. So, hey, just make it work.
So you were there for a year?
No, I ended up being there. They kept me there for 5 years. And I ended up crossing over to the counselor.
Okay.
Changed job. Ended up changing job.
All right.
So I did a great job there. So I was supposed to do 3 years, so he made me extend for 2 more.
Uh-huh.
He tried to keep me there for the rest of the whole tour. I'm like, nah, I need to move on. Wife will go to Atlanta now to go see her dad's side of the family.
Right.
I go to Atlanta, like, okay, cool, good. I go to Atlanta, and where they put me? They put me on Memorial Drive, which people think Memorial Drive is not close to Stone Mountain, but it's not Stone Mountain, it's the hood. But I'm known for turning around those areas now, so they will put me there. So
Right.
I ended up turning that area around too.
Okay.
I spent 5 years there, 'cause I was trying to go to Miami after I left there, but like, nah, we need to keep you here, like, no. So I spent the rest of my time there, but it was fun.
So that took you to the end of your
I took to the
career?
end, but I was able to got promoted, I got some rewards,
Okay.
you know, and I finished my career and it was awesome. You know, the people I met, you know, I got friends for life. The guys still call me that work for me.
Nice.
They still call me to this day.
Few more questions. So, what did you do when you got out of service up to this point? What year did you get out?
I got out in 2007.
All right, so this is 21.
Right, so when I got out in 2007, remember I got my associates before I got out.
Okay.
So it took me almost 10 years to get an associate.
Right.
Got my associates. But now I'm going to school. I finished up getting my bachelor's in psychology.
Right.
Then I ended up going to Liberty University, got my master's
And
in human resources.
Uh-huh.
I mean human services, counseling for military.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so got a behavioral science degree over there. So I ended up getting my master's there. But it was funny how I got it because my wife was getting her master's. And in order for her to get a discount, she needed me to go so she get a discount.
right.
So she got a discount. I'm going, I didn't want to go and get my master's, but I ended up getting mine. And I finished before her. She
Right.
quit the paper. So I ended up getting my master's degree, and I work at the Veterans Affairs Administration. I'm an auditor for revenue operations. So
As a civilian.
yeah,
You had a GS job.
Yeah, GS 11.
Wow.
Step 6. So it's great. And I audit the revenue.
You do that now?
operations, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do all the audits for revenue operations, oversee all the functions, make sure they hold, adhere to all the controls. And I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it's great. You work by the quarter. So right now I'm on audit right now, but I pretty much finished it, so I don't have anything else to do in January.
Gotcha. 2 more questions. How did the military affect your opinion about war?
To me, when I was there, it didn't really bother me because I knew we had one of the strongest forces there are. You know, we had the strongest military in the world. I mean, like, I feel confident.
Right.
And it's like you said, it built that camaraderie with you and your fellow shipmates. I mean, like, it's like none other.
Somebody got your back all the time.
Always, always. No matter what, you argue or fight, but when it comes down to it, everybody stick with each other. So.
Okay. And last question, how did the military affect your life overall?
I think it made my life much better, stronger. Like I said, benefits can be no better with, you know, I'm 100% disabled vet. You know, I don't pay no taxes on my house. You know, I go to school for free. My wife goes to school for free. They give her a stipend if she wanted to go. The benefits are just out of this world what you get just for being there. And then, I mean, like I said, the friendship you build is just none other. And it made my wife not much stronger because we were wasting so much. We spent a whole lot more time together. So.
Okay.
Well, as a matter of fact, my wife, my son, he's 10 years in already. And my daughter, she did 8 years.
Wow. In the Navy?
Yeah.
Both of them?
Yeah, my son's still in. He's in Guam. And guess what his rate is? A Navy counsel like me.
Wow. Congratulations.
So.
What job does the daughter have?
And she was a hospital corpsman at first. And then she ended up being a bosun maid working on the ship. And they do different inspections on the ship. They clean up the ship. They do all that stuff. But she started out as a hospital corpsman. Yeah, but it's good to, you know, do those 20 years because you meet so many people that when they went to boot camp, one of my friends ended up being the guy that drilled them through.
Right.
He would call me like, you know, I'll get them through.
Tell you how your kids
are. Hate it, but I'm going to get them through.
Right, yeah. Well, I want to thank you for a great interview and also thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You can shut that down.